My fans, I have arrived.
Me too.
Melt in your mouth.
They look so cheery.
You're an M&M. There's no point in wondering where your pockets are.
Tasting smooth, creamy milk. Chocolate center.
You're an M&M. It's alright. There's no sense in wondering where your pockets are.
Chocolate melts in your mouth.
Don't worry, they say hi.
Solid milk chocolate. M&M's.
I love being on TV when you're an M&M. Don't worry, it's alright.
Solid milk chocolate. M&M's.
Don't worry,
Get in the bowl. Milk chocolate melts in your mouth.
do you think
Bite-sized candies. Milk chocolate.
do you think
Bite-sized candies. Creamy milk chocolate. Milk chocolate.
do you think
Bite-sized candies.
I hope no one
Almond chocolate.
do you think
Bite-sized candies. Chocolate center. Milk chocolate.
you're an M&M? No one wrong. There's no point in wondering where your pockets are.
Only M&M's candies.
You're an M&M. It's alright. There's no sense in wondering where your ear holes are.
Milk chocolate melts in your mouth.
So it's that kind of party. Dark chocolate, darker than they see. So it's that kind of party. When you're an M&M. 13 more hours. Oh no.
Solid milk chocolate.
Aye aye. 13 more hours. Oh no.
Milk chocolate melts in your mouth.
Do you think
Bite-sized candies. Milk chocolate.
rock the boat?
Bite-sized candies. Creamy milk chocolate. Milk chocolate.
Do you think
Bite-sized candies.
M&M?
Almond chocolate.
Do you think
Bite-sized candies. Chocolate center.
when you're an M&M?
Milk chocolate melts in your mouth.
Must buy other?
Milk chocolate melts in your mouth. Creamy milk chocolate. Milk chocolate. Milk chocolate melts in your mouth.
Must buy other?
Milk chocolate melts in your mouth.
They say hi when you're an M&M.
All the M&M's you could want. With peanuts or plain.
Might wonder. Might wonder. You're an M&M. 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 M&M. You're an M&M. You're an M&M.
Milk chocolate. Bite-sized cat chocolate center. Milk chocolate. Bite-sized cat chocolate center. The M&M's can only all new M's. The M&M's can bite-sized candies. M's. The M&M's can only all new M's. The M&M's can.
I'd say that's a wrap.
Transmitting live from the Asylum Studios, deep in the bowels of Southwest Texas. It's the Joe Rooz Show. The show where we talk about anything and everything. Where nothing is sacred, nothing is watered down, and nothing is PC.
All righty. Hey, folks, this is Joe Rooz, and it is great to be with you once again, transmitting live tonight from the Asylum Studios, from the Pimple on the backside of Texas, the beautiful city of Eagle Pass, and doing the very best that we can to bring you the best quality talk radio we can muster without all the bluster. Welcome to the Joe Rooz Show. Hey, folks, it is Monday. No joyful shout for that one. It's Monday, and man, was it ever a flippin' Monday. Good grief. But that's all right. That headache is out of the way. Now we have another one. We have a show to do tonight. No, I'm kidding. The shows are never a headache. I actually look forward to this more than anything else. It's all I got. It's my life. It's this show. And you guys. Love spending my time with you guys. It's always a pleasure. And we got a busy week ahead of us. Now, I know yesterday we did a rundown of what lays ahead for the week, and we said we had no guests for today. And lo and behold, before the night was over, we had Julian Raven and Danny Mendoza both checked in for a show tonight. So that's great, and we're excited about that. We really are. We haven't spoken to Julian since July, I think it was July 2nd. I know it was around Independence Day. And Julian has some updates on some of the legal matters that he's been contending with and that we talked about very, very briefly, really, the last time we were together. So we're looking forward to getting some updates from Julian in just a few minutes. And then, of course, in the second hour, we're going to have Danny Mendoza talking to us all about Eagle Pass PopCon 3 and some updates on that event that we talked about when he was actually here in studio. So got a packed show for you tonight, and then we'll be moving on. All right, but I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you were able to check out the shows this weekend. I think Saturday's show was fantastic. We had D. Paul Fleming on. If you didn't catch that one, go back and check it out, episode number 204. We had a great conversation. Incredible guy. You need to talk to him, need to listen to him, and check out his books. Great stuff. And then on Sunday, of course, we had our usual Sunday Bible study show where we got into the dispensation of the patriarchs, which is, I mean, it's not technically a dispensation. If you follow the chain of dispensationalism, it's really part and parcel to the dispensation of the conscience that we talked about the week before. But just for our purposes, I separated the two, made it a little bit easier to follow. And so we talked about Abraham. We talked about the land grant that Abraham was given. We talked about the Balfour Declaration. We talked about, quite a few things. And next week, we'll be getting into the law, the dispensation of the law. That's going to take us about 6 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks to get through that particular dispensation. And it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. I remember I've taught this before, and the law is always a lot of interesting things that comes up when we discuss the law. But with all of that said, I don't want to keep our guests waiting too much longer, so let's get into some of the housekeeping that we have to do. All right, so folks, as always, tonight's show is brought to you by podhome.fm. Podhome.fm is my host audio platform. It's a fantastic podcasting platform to be a part of. It's the most modern and easy-to-use podcast hosting platform you're going to find. You can use it to publish your episodes, enhance your audio, automatically generate chapters, titles, show notes, transcripts, chapter art, you name it, you can do it on podhome.fm. And you can actually even podcast live with podhome.fm, which is incredibly easy to do. And that's what we're doing right now, too. Not only are we doing the live stream, we're also doing a live audio stream. And you can pick up those live audio streams, of course, on our website at joerooz.com. You could also pick it up on the modern podcast apps like Podcast Guru, Fountain.fm, Podhome's own podcast player, Podverse, so many of them you can check it out on. So you can easily do that through podhome.fm, and you could actually get the HTML code for a media player and insert that on your website. And if you don't have a website, guess what? Podhome gives you one at no extra charge. You can get your own website. You basically get every single thing that you need to put together a great podcast for one affordable subscription of $15.99 a month. That's only $15.99 a month. And if you go there today, you sign up, you get 30 days free. So podhome.fm, check them out. 30 days free, $15.99 a month thereafter. All right? And folks, we all know that electricity is essential, and TNE Energy makes it affordable and personal. More than 1 million customers across the U.S. trust TNE Energy to provide their homes and earn free energy while doing so for referring their friends and family. You can't get better than that. So you need to check them out. Just visit TNE Energy, tne.energy, and explore all the options available to you in your home today. That's tne.energy. All right? And of course, as always, don't forget to head over to our website, joerooz.com. And when you get there, open up the contact section. Let us know whatever's on your heart, whatever's on your mind, any questions, comments, cares, or concerns, whatever it is. If you have a complaint, don't bother. I'm not going to read it. But if you have any suggestions for a show or a guest or anything you'd like us to talk about, let us know. We would love to hear from you guys. And if you don't want to use the web form, you can always email me directly at info@joerooz.com. That's info@joerooz.com. Or a really novel idea is to use that little comment section down below. That's always easy to do. You can, especially if you're on Rumble, just put it right down there in the comment section. It stays there in perpetuity, and we'll read it and we'll respond to it. All right, so make sure you do that. Also, while you're on the website, take a look at the support page. And if you, remember, this is a value for value show. And all that simply means is that if you are receiving anything of value from the content we're putting out, all we're asking is that you return that value to us in the form of a donation. And, of course, that donation could be your time, your talent, or your treasure. And We'll go into all of those amazing details at the end of the show because I want to make sure we get to our guests and we have plenty of time for them. All right. I think we've covered pretty much everything there. Before I bring in Julian, I am going to take a sip of my Earl Grey tea hot. See, I remember Julian. I know he's there watching. Salute. Yes, sir. I remembered. All right. Let's bring in Julian. So tonight is a real treat for me. And that's basically because we're bringing back a good friend, the one and only Julian Raven. Now, again, if you were back with us back in July 2nd, we had a conversation, man, that just took us through an incredible journey from Julian's days as a missionary, crossing the Tappan Zee Bridge, to discovering America through the Constitution, to building a life and a family here in New York. And then we kind of stepped into the story behind this massive and now legendary Trump portrait. We talked about the cross-country grassroots campaign in Iowa in the dead of January, RNC, and then that showdown that he had with the Smithsonian, which was incredibly personal, passionate, and downright cinematic. Now tonight, we're going to kind of pick up where the story left off. A lot's happened since then. I know there's an echo, right? Let me fix that. I just heard it. And I keep on forgetting to do this, so my apologies, folks. There we go. That should fix it. I keep forgetting I have to change the setting from echo cancellation to stereo. Otherwise, the audio sounds terrible for the music and everything. So sorry about that, folks. All right. So tonight, like I said, we're going to pick up where we left off. But a lot of stuff happened since you were here with us last, Julian, back in July. A lot of things happened in the country for the fight for free expression in art, and politics, institutions that claim to preserve our history, and we are looking forward to getting caught up. Julian, how are you, bud?
Good evening, Joe, and great to be back. And thank you for having me on once again. I wanted to say this as a precursor. First of all, can you hear me well?
I hear you beautifully. Okay,
fantastic. Yeah, your future discussion of the law is appropriate for my little bit of information I'm going to share with you today, because again, a whole new chapter, and this is not technically new. It's been going on sort of parallel with my Smithsonian journey, but it has not yet blossomed until now. Brief update on the Smithsonian. I have pending litigation, which is my third lawsuit that I don't know if I had filed when we spoke.
No, I think you said you were in the process of building it in order to file it.
Right. That is being, and so I'm in a very, very interesting situation. I have presently 4 motions before the district court for the District of Columbia. Mm-hmm. But what is very interesting is that I have, because of the extraordinary circumstances of May, June this year, when the president attempted to fire Kim Sayat, the director of the National Portrait Gallery. Right. She went back to work the next day, demonstrating one of two things. Either the Smithsonian Institution has more power than the President of the United States, or the Smithsonian Institution is simply a private organization that the President has no power and authority over. And it's like him trying to fire a pastor of a church.
Right.
And the extraordinary circumstances is that the judge in my case in 2018, Judge Trevor McFadden, he stated, in order to deny me my First Amendment free speech rights, my Fifth Amendment due process rights, all of the rights that I had, in order to do that, he had to claim that the Smithsonian was the government through and through. He had to claim that it was an agency of the federal government, that when the government acts as an agency, you don't have free speech because the government is exercising government speech and there is no free speech. But this was baloney. That was the source of my appeal all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, demanding the court to explain and to answer exactly what is the Smithsonian Institution. And they rejected my petition for certiorari. So now you see, once that happened, those extraordinary circumstances, because when the Smithsonian defied the president, oh, how could you do this? It's like, well, because the Smithsonian is a private organization. And on June the 9th this year, when they had their annual or biannual Board of Regents meeting, and present was the Chief Justice, who is the Chancellor, the Vice President, J.D. Vance, 3 members of Congress, 3 members of the Senate, and 9 members of the the public.
Mm-hmm.
There was a story came out that included my story in the New York Times that said one of the congressmen that was there, that's on the board, was like banging his fist sort of on the table, demanding that John Roberts fire Kim Sayed. And he said, we're not firing Kim Sayed. We've got that. So there was this battle and defiance inside the Smithsonian. It's documented in this New York Times article. And once again, demonstrating that it cannot be a government organization. You can't have the legislature and the judicial, legislative and the judicial and I'm missing the third part there. I just had a brain fog. You can't have the 3 members of the tripart government sitting at the same table, acting as if they're one executive. Sorry, yeah, thank you. You can't have those 3 components sitting at the same table and acting in one singular voice as the federal government. It violates the separation of powers. It's the most stupid, unlawful decision that Judge McFadden made. But because of the prestige and the controlling status quo bias that the Smithsonian exercise on people's minds, most people think, oh, it's the government. It is the government. It's not. It's called the Smithsonian because it's named after a British gentleman named James Smithson. It's a private charity. It's a simple private charitable trust.
Right.
And when the members of the government sit down as members of the Board of Regents, they don't sit down as officials of the government. They leave their robes at the door and they sit down as citizens. They're just trustees of a church. That's it. And yet the judge in my case made that ruling. So my present motions right now in the district court, one of them has reopened the 2018 case. Mm-hmm. And it is a motion under Rule 60B to vacate that judgment, that I'm giving the judge a pathway to correct this error of law that he made, that he can vacate that decision. I don't go back into the damages and that whole rigmarole, but just vacate that decision. And then 3 motions in the present case that can bring over those issues that were unresolved, that are identical to the issues in my present case, giving him a pathway to actually rule legitimately and allow the rule of law to be accurate on the docket. Because the extraordinary circumstances of June this year prove without a doubt, because the Smithsonian, after June the 9th, they came out with a statement. And this is a statement from the Board of Regents, from Chief Justice John Roberts, the Vice President of the United States. They made a statement and said the Smithsonian Institution is an independent entity. Well, yeah, hello. That's what I've been arguing for 10 years.
Exactly right. Yeah.
It's an independent, private, charitable trust that the government of the United States is the trustee of the private charity. That's it. They exist to allow that James Smithson's voice of a private citizen and a foreign private citizen is carried out. His will is carried out. It is not the will of the federal government. So I hope, and maybe this is the time 10 years later, it's like, coming in 9 years in the litigation, 10 years of the story, that this judge is going to have the honor and dignity to humble himself in the presence of God and the law of this country and the clear statutes and even the separation of state, of separation of powers, a doctrine that it is impossible that the 3 members of the federal government, 3 branches, can sit together. And the only other time when the 3 branches of the government sit down together in the same room, you know when that is? State of the Union.
Yep.
That's the only time. And they're not sitting there deliberating together. They're there in their sort of interdependent parts, sort of sitting
Correct.
there with arms folded. It's and so I am hoping, Joe, that this might be the time that Judge McFadden says you can't argue with what happened in June. And Mr. Raven has been right for nearly 10 years, and it's time for me to fix it now. I hope and pray that could happen. Those motions have been now sitting there because of the shutdown. Everything has been pushed back over whatever it's been, 6 weeks. So I'm thinking I'm going to start I've got a response in the DOJ already, but I'm thinking about the follow-up response to be somewhere maybe mid-December, or they'll find an excuse to push it off until January because of the holidays, that type of thing. So we're going to see very soon what happens there. So that's the Smithsonian update.
Okay, now before we get into anything else, for some of the audience who might not know, because we kind of intimated it, how the Smithsonian actually came into existence, and I know we kind of covered it in detail back in July, but we have a bunch of new people watching, listening. Can you just kind of give us the history of the Smithsonian, how it came to be, and why exactly it is like in a trust with the government?
1800s, I think James Smithson, I think he died in 1829. It was like in the 1830s, 1835, when the money came. What happens interesting is that James Smithson was a bastard, meaning in Victorian England he was a bastard son of two royal dynasties that obviously they had an affair. She got pregnant, and he was born in Paris because in Victorian England, bastardry, there was, and in the US there were bastardy laws. So he was a persona non grata his whole life. He couldn't be an accepted member of society. He probably was born in secret. No one ever knew about him as he grew up. But he lived in Europe. He spent his whole life in Europe, not in the UK. Born in Paris, and he died in Genoa, Italy. Obviously, his parents were very wealthy British royalty. And so he had money. Nobody knows exactly where it came from. He was a sort of amateur scientist. The only real accomplishment that James Smithson ever accomplished, and this was named, I think, posthumously, was that he discovered a mineral that they named after him, and it's called Smithsonite. That's the scientific accolade, Smithsonite. But when he died, in his will, he actually was trying to give his money to his family. He wasn't married, didn't have children, but he had sort of relations in different places. But the will is very interesting because his money and his person dying outside of England had to be taken back to England. But his gold, nobody wanted his gold because he was persona non grata, and he couldn't build an institution in England because no one would build it. And that wasn't even in his will. He tried to give it to different parts of the family, and it kept like defaulting. Nope. And at the end of his will, one little sentence basically said, if nobody can get my fortune, there's a gardener who got like a stipend, I believe. He got a stipend, and but he said, if nobody can basically, if it all falls through the cracks and there's no heirs and no recipients of my will, then he says, then I give my whole estate to the United States of America, so that at Washington specifically, they would build an institution called the Smithsonian Institution. That's what it says in the will, for the increase and diffusion of knowledge among men. So that was his will. And it's very interesting. If you read my book, Odious and Cerberus, An American Immigrant's Odyssey, and his free speech, legal war against Smithsonian corruption. If you read the book, I have a lot of fascinating details, historic details. That's a multi-layered book, but the history is fascinating. The United States had to sue the United Kingdom in order to get the money, the gold. This was back then, it was $541,000 US back then. There was, I think it was 1,000 gold British sovereigns, so it was like 11 sacks of gold coins. And this guy, Robert Rush, was the envoy from under Andrew Jackson. He was sent to the United Kingdom to litigate for 2 years. It took him to sue them in the courts and sue in order to actually demonstrate that the United States was the beneficiary of the will, and then bring the money back to the US. And he did. So he got his 11 sacks of gold and he got on a ship and he traveled back to the United States. And they were in crates. They were substantial sacks. You know, whether I don't know if it was like 111 sacks. It was, I can't remember the specifics. It was very interesting details of the transport of the gold back to the United States. And he did.
Mhm.
And what did Congress do immediately with the money?
Spend it.
But they borrowed it.
There you go.
They borrowed Smithson's money, and in the Act of the Smithsonian from 1846, because it took them 10 years of deliberations, 10 years back then, to decide what and when they were and who could do the Smithsonian thing. But they borrowed the money. So in the Act of the Smithsonian, it says, yeah, we've borrowed the money, and we're going to pay an annual interest payment of 6% on this amount and 6% on $541,000 in that time. And they estimate it's probably about 60 to 80 million US dollars today.
Mhm.
6% is a lot of money. And so, but they said in the Act of the Smithsonian that would pay for the establishment of the museum. So the Smithsonian was built not with Smithson's money. It was built with the interest payments that the government promised based upon them borrowing his gold. So, yeah, you can dig into that one, right?
That's just, yeah.
I mean, it's right there it's right in the black. It's black and white. You can read it. It's like, oh my goodness. But what you see, that's part of the problem, though, of what happened, Joe, with how the Smithsonian has drifted into the unconstitutional and illicit area of not being private and suddenly appearing to be the government. Because at some point in the early 1900s, because there were controversies around it, it's as if that the 6% payment, and I couldn't find the specific documentation. It's either that the 6% payment was no longer large enough to operate the expanded museum by them. If you go to my website, www.smithsoninstitution.com, Smithson, not Smithsonian, smithsoninstitution.com, you will see newspaper cuttings and stories from the 1900s. And one of them there is the Washington Daily Star asking the public for donations. They said, we need, the Smithsonian was begging for money from the public. And that was the time where its activities and research and mission and vision, which are all legitimate, they're all good. It's as if that was exceeding its economic power under its either donations and this 6% amount. Now that's a real problem, because originally that 60 to 80 million, if that was used specifically for the institution and invested properly for the institution, it would have had ample funds to run it and always operated within budget and expanded as the money grew and as the institution grew. It would have still been, but it didn't. So at some point they began to appropriate taxpayer dollars to fund now the shortfall. So at that point, the minute the government and these different people came along and sort of said, well, we'll just take some tax dollars and just funnel it in, that's the moment when people begin to think that this is no longer private, it's now a government agency. So anyway, that gets into a whole other story, which is fascinating. It's part of how the erroneous notion that the Smithsonian Institution is a government agency happened. And at that time, I have a wonderful quote. It's in my book. It's all documented. It's a whole chapter I wrote about him, William Howard Taft. I mean, I don't know, the story of that man was absolutely a remarkable story of a simple guy from, I believe it was upstate New York. Simple, humble beginnings, how he became the most remarkable politician, I think, in American history. He held so many different offices, so many different titles. He became president. He was Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court.
That's
and
right.
as Chief Justice, he was Chancellor of the Smithsonian Institution. So if anybody on earth knew what the Smithsonian Institution was, it was William Howard Taft. And what did he say that it was? It's right there in black and white. He says the Smithsonian has never been a government bureau. He says it is a private institution under the guardianship of the government. It's a very clear statement.
Which
Never,
shouldn't be any question whatsoever.
it's like what, and the thing is, this is the weird part, that there may be, and when the government privatizes or nationalizes, there's a process that goes through. So there could be grounds if they were trying, we're going to turn the Smithsonian into a national museum, and they dissolve the trust, and they pay back the actual trust, the Smithson trust, they return the funds, there's some legal process that they could have enacted to legitimately made the Smithsonian Institution a national museum.
Mm-hmm.
But they never did. They never paid back the $600 or $541,000. They just absorbed it into the federal government, basically. And it runs now on close to $1 billion a year budget, with 70% being tax appropriations and about $300 million being private donations annually. So it's still this hybrid now, messy, corrupt institution. If you read the history again in my book, you'll be fascinated. The juicy stories of corruption. It's like unbelievable. It's stunning. It's all in black and white. It's documented right there.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has happened, Joe, because the confusion about the legal status is like a fog that allows a lot of very illicit movement to happen inside there, because nobody really knows, and nobody is questioning, and nobody is saying. They're just going and institutional inertia is pushing it forward, and people. So here I come along, and I'm like, hold on a second, let me hit the pause button here, maybe, or something like that. I want to poke the fog and get inside there and see what's going on. And so that's their little background for the listener to really. It's a fascinating story. It's a great story. It's an amazing institution. Joseph Henry, the first Smithsonian secretary and the greatest American scientist of the day, remarkable man. 37 years of his life he dedicated to building the Smithsonian Institution from scratch. He was the visionary. He was the guy that founded it. So it is an amazing institution. What has happened? It not only become this sort of quasi-government hybrid until we get a definitive ruling from the Supreme Court, but it's also was hijacked by agendas where people just took over the institution and used it for political purposes to drive their agenda. And it's very clear the agenda that's in there.
Right, and that's where your story comes in too, because the whole background, the reason why you got involved in this in the first place is because of a portrait that you painted of President Trump that the Smithsonian refused.
Yeah, too political.
Right.
It's there's no politics in it. All it is a candidate. It was a candidate post painting with American symbols. And this woman, who now you see, the woman who Trump rightly tried to fire, but didn't have the authority to do so. She eventually resigned, because on his list of 17 reasons to fire her, my case was number 4, which was great. I was all right, that's good. It should have been number 1, which it was, but there are reasons for that, because I'm not a Trump apologist. I am politically homeless. I've walked beyond that right now. That's part of my story. But the issue, the core issue that's at the heart of that is that the painting, the symbolism is it's a surreal dream image of, that's really what it is. It's a vision. It's a vision what's trying to be depicted in this man's head. But it contains America, the flag, and the eagle in a sort of surreal depiction. And this snooty Australia, this woman was not and is not even an American, Joe. This is what got me so sick. I'm an immigrant. I came to this country. I fell in love with this country. I fell in love with its laws, its history, its incredible people, this remarkable story that America is. And I wanted to become one. And I was able, and I swore the oath, and I became an American. So here I am, an immigrant who had just become a citizen at that time. Even though I'd been here for many years, I was a resident, and then that ran out, and then eventually became a citizen.
Which, by the way, your story is an incredible story. I've retold your story so many times to so many different people.
Well, thank you. Well, that's and I hope it serves its purpose, you know. But the point here, Joe, and I don't want to cut you short on that, but just so I finish this thought is, I turn up at the Smithsonian Institution again. It's not a national museum, but I didn't even know what it was when I turned up there. I just knew it was some important place in DC. And there's this Australian woman who's not even an American objecting to an image that depicts the story of Americans from a certain position, their values, their vision, their hopes, their dreams, this beautiful, it's like this drama that's unfolding. And her snooty Australian, when she picked up, she called me. She's like, "Oh, is your painting the one with the eagle and the flag?" You know, there's some people in this country that despise the symbols that America has and are precious and essential to understanding what we are as Americans. And they just, and it's like, you know, it's so, to me, it's so discouraging because you're either going to be faithful and loyal to what you believe, you know, as a believer, as a Christian, as a follower, as a citizen, you pledge, you want to live as a husband, you know, you swear an oath, for goodness sake, and you stand and you believe, and those are the character components that this country was built on. And this person has the gall to object to those things as disqualifying, when for two inaugurations prior, they had hosted the Obama Hope poster, which was red, white, and blue, Obama, blah, 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 hope. Fine, beautiful. That's great that was their
and
thing.
hardly apolitical.
Yeah, and the political campaign poster. So, but that story is still ongoing, thank God. I have not given up, thank God. I have many times wanted to, many times been like, I can't believe this journey is just horrible. The ordeal was, I mean, I don't know if you managed to read the book, but please read the book if you want to see the journey. The book is an allegory. As I talk about history and the law and the facts, which can be very, you know, to a lot of people, oh my goodness, you're going into all this detail. So yeah, I said, as I wrote it, I said, man, I got to tell that story. I got to put the facts in there so you read it. But then I wove an allegory into it. So I'm climbing a mountain called Mount Justlaw. From the beginning of the book, it's my journey of climbing this mountain and battling these beasts. That's why it's called Odious and Cerberus, you know, this three-headed beast, which the judge called in the court that the Smithsonian is this hellhound, this three-headed hellhound. It was bizarre, his ruling was. But that's the story, and you get to see the adventure that it is. And so, but at the end of it, the disappointments and the tragic, just heartbreaking, just when you're like, it's right there in black and white. I am not making it up. It's like it's right there. Can you, and status quo bias, Joe, that can lead us to what we're dealing with even now in my current case,
which we're going to come to in a second.
Yeah, if you are controlled by the status quo bucket of beliefs and ideas they're not based in fact, and most people don't spend their life trying to actually work out what it is they believe or what, you know, what's true around them. Most people live in a bubble. They live in a bubble of, they've just been like boiled into it like a toad, you know, like a frog in a pot. And the status quo bias is so strong over the Smithsonian that people, and I've spoken to people for nearly 10 years about the Smithsonian, and I know this for a fact. There's only probably one person that I can remember, one person who immediately said to me, oh no, it's not the government. And they knew it. Other than that, everyone else I've spoken to, from standing outside the Smithsonian now on 2 different occasions with a microphone, and I've interviewed people, and I'm like, so what do you think it is? Oh yeah, it's the government. Oh yeah, it's the American government. This is and they don't know, but they're just sort of parroting.
Yeah, and it's amazing too how many people actually consider the Smithsonian the National Museum. Yeah, because you hear it referenced that way many times in many different circumstances.
Yep. And again, you can see why that happened because of the proximity, the physical proximity. The story that's on my website, again, on the front page, it shows another story from the Washington Star, the Sunday Star from 1927. And the front page story was describing a family came from the Midwest, walking down the mall in Washington, and the buildings and the White House and then they see the Smithsonian Castle, and like, oh, look at this building, and the story says, and then they go on to discover that this building is not the government, but it is the private, and it's right there. It's right quoted on the opening page of my website, because it's like, and it's the same pervasive era. And I'm like, come on. At some point, you've got to look at what it says in writing and base what you believe upon what's actually in the law. And that goes back to your conversation that you're going to have in a few weeks about the importance of the law. And that can maybe segue to the law that I'm dealing with now in New York State.
It just might, yes. Yeah, so I actually have I have the article that you sent me, the link to from, is it EIN Presswire? So
yeah, I have had I sent you that just yesterday, today, recently, because I've got a bunch of them. That might even be.
I think you sent me this one last week, and then I have another one from your Substack that you sent.
Oh yeah.
So this is the article here. Artist and author Julian Raven files lawsuit against New York State DEC over property contamination dispute. All right, fill us in. What is this all about now?
That's my art studio. It's where I'm standing right now. I'm in that little door on the front there. I'm in there. That's my office. And this is a building that has been in this town, I don't know, since I think it was built in 1953. I've known about it since I've been here. It was like a condemned, blighted building. It's right on the main thoroughfare of the city. And I had another one for years, and I was away. And then I came back from Spain from an art show, and in 2014, and the other building that I had, we lost because of the crash of 2008. I had another setup here, which was wonderful. And that all fell apart because the owner was greedy, the economy crashed. And then we got, that was another story. But anyway, this one, I was like, wow, I'd been in Spain painting these large paintings and came back, and I went to find out, why is this still blighted? Upstate New York, Joe, I think you knew it somewhat, right? You were from the city, was it?
Yeah, I'm from downstate, but I used to go up. I used to go upstate many, many times. It was a nice little vacation from the hectic lifestyle of the city.
Yeah, and upstate New York is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it is such a beautiful state. It's
a lot. I don't mean to interrupt you, but a lot of people don't realize that New York is not just New York City.
I thought it was when I came here, Joe.
Yeah, most people do. Like when I came down here to Texas, people just tend to think that New York City is just Manhattan and and the 5 boroughs. But no,
it's a massive state.
New York State is a beautiful state. New York State, you have apple orchards, you have horse ranches, you have dairy farms, you have forests, it's a beautiful, beautiful place. It truly is. Too bad it's being run like crap, but it's
oh my goodness.
It's actually a beautiful place. As a matter of fact, if it wasn't being run like crap 10 years ago, when I first came here to Texas, I probably would have, when I retired, I probably would have moved upstate.
Wow.
But
yeah, that's one of the big issues that we have, and that's really what I'm dealing with now. Because the way that God works in my life, Joe, is like I don't go looking for these things. I'm following my destiny. I come to this. I've come by faith. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. I have my life is Christ. My life is my commitment to my faith and my Lord and Savior. And so the way that I live my life is always through the lens of faith, seeking and trying to know the next step and pursue it that way. And so God has always led me without even, most of the time I'm oblivious. Most of the time I'm sort of, you're happy-go-lucky like a kid. You're just like, oh, la, 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 and you end up in a situation, and then he like begins to draw your attention and make you look at something. And you're like, okay, and I start looking. And then before long, you're looking, you're like, oh, and your sort of gifts kick in, and then you're like, oh my goodness. So it's like the Smithsonian. I had no idea what I was walking into. The reason why I submitted my painting to the Smithsonian, because I met people across the country who said to me, "Oh, this painting should be in the Smithsonian," and I was like, "Well, so what is that?" I didn't even, so it was all new, and I think as an outsider and a foreigner, you have a perspective that is very, very unfiltered and unsort of prejudiced. And so you go in and you see it very differently than the American mind sees it. So here I am in New York State, and I buy this building, and the building I knew before I bought it, the reason why it was all blighted and it was run down and decrepit and vandalized and gutted, and it was like a bomb went off in this thing. It was unbelievable. The reason why is because it was a supposed brownfield. There was all these rumors about, the contamination and all, because I'm in a very industrial area where there is massive contamination in soil, et cetera, et cetera. So I researched it, and I spoke to the DC, which is the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, and they have a legitimate mandate to go around and investigate and find real polluters. And there's some people that are just indiscriminate in the way that they have dumped poisons and toxins and things into the stream, into the river. Unbelievable. The Hudson, we know the New York State, for years in the 1800s, just people just dumping So I knew this. I did the research, and once I did the research and I spoke to the DC back then, and I read the reports, I saw, you know what? The reports were inconclusive. Everything was like a question mark. And I, across the street from us, 300 feet, there was a former dry cleaner, and dry cleaners use PCE and TCE, which is known as PERC, the stuff that if you've had a shirt dry cleaned, it has that smell to it.
Yeah.
There's a chemical smell. That's TCE or PCE. It's usually the PCE. PERC is the name. It's the stuff that if you go to the auto zone or buy brake cleaner fluid. Have you ever bought a can of brake cleaner? It's a big can, and just blast that stuff. That's usually PERC, straight PERC. That is the chemical that you use to clean clothes with. And dry cleaners are called dry cleaners because they don't use water. It's called dry cleaning because they're washing your clothes in a big washing machine full of this chemical. And this chemical is such incredible cleaning powers. It can get to such microscopic fibers and clean and just dissipate dirt. And then after they've done the cleaning and the chemical loses its power, for 50 years, 40 years, 1970, they started using it. Before it was regulated in the 90s, you know what people did with it? They dumped it in the drains.
Mm-hmm.
They dumped it out the back door of their building. And this chemical just drops through the ground. And it's a VOC, volatile organic compound. And so the dry cleaner is 300 feet from me, upstream, up gradient in the water table. And I could see from the map, I said, anything that's in this property, this property was never a dry cleaner. This is a warehouse. Anything that was here has migrated because the water, they showed that the migration or the movement of the groundwater flowed directly to my building. Mm-hmm. And so I could see all these inconsistencies. And I said back then, I said, they cannot conclude because it's not, I could see it. I said, I can buy this knowing that maybe one day I'm going to have to have a lawsuit to fight this out. But I know that there is no smoking gun here. And it's in their reports. It's like I read it. It's in black and white. Once again, going back, you got to read the stuff. You got to read it and get to know what it says. And I did. And I then bought the building. I got it for a very good price. The previous owner paid $1 for it. And that's how nobody wanted it. Then they found out the condition of it because they were a massive company from Missouri. They found out when I got involved, I sent them pictures that the place is they bought it sight unseen. And once they saw it, they wanted to get rid of it. And I bought it from them for $3,300. And this is 6,000 square foot warehouse.
Nice.
So I got it. But I got I walked into the potential of what I'm in now, and that was 2014. It's 11 years ago. So it's been a long journey. And the long and the short of it is this. Not only now, this is where it gets into the political possibility once again. And again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. The Bible is very clear to me. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verses 22 and 23 is, refuse foolish and ignorant speculations, for they just produce quarrels.
Mm-hmm.
Refuse foolish and ignorant. So I don't get into the attributing definitively that this is what it is. But in 2017, at the height of my support of then President Trump, because he'd been elected, and my lawsuit had begun in beginning of January of that year, 3 months before. Right at that time, I get this very heavy-handed, demanding letter from the DEC, and that's when my fight started. That's 8 years ago. It didn't become a lawsuit till 6 weeks ago. And I've been in this battle already going on now 8 years. The remarkable thing about it is that, I'm either dealing with now, and there's a lot of details that I don't want to, I know my time, your guest is probably coming on in 10 minutes. What have we got?
We got about 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah. So it's a fascinating, I had my first hearing on Friday, and it blew up.
Mm.
The Attorney General of the United States is defending of New York is defending the Department of Environmental Conservation. I have sued Governor Hochul, Commissioner Lefton, this project attorney Lowe, and this project manager Bruno. There's 4 people. This is the state of New York. This is New York State defending itself, and the Attorney General, an assistant attorney, was there. In the court, they accused me of doctoring documents without any substantiation, without saying, and suddenly they then, oh yeah, you saw it. And then this guy, I cannot tell you, Joe, I was so shocked. And how I had already slammed this Attorney General in the response to, and you can read all those at 714 Baldwin Street, the response, if you go to that and tap the tag, which is, the drop down menu of Raven versus NYS DEC. Joe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like stupid in this world that you just can't believe that people can behave like this, especially people who hold such significant office. It's just lying. In the legal world, you have to call it, that's just factually incorrect, or that's just not, you don't go into court and you say, you're a liar.
It would be nice if you could. You could. You'll get walked out in handcuffs.
I'm a pro se. Well, no, I'm a pro se litigant. So I have a lot of latitude, and you should have heard the judge was saying, be quiet, Mr. Raven, let him answer. I'm like, I object. I object. And he's like shutting me up. It was a spitting fight in this little court. And I now, since then, over the weekend, I have filed, I think it's 7 motions for referral, this guy, to disciplinary committees, to sanctions, to adverse inferences. I've motioned the court now to vacate their ruling because the judge sat there, and this was so stunning to me. The judges naturally will defer to a state agency, like with the Smithsonian.
Mm-hmm.
Judges will defer to the attorney or to the DOJ, because even Judge McFadden, he was a DOJ prosecutor, a young man, 37 years old when he became judge. 37, he's like a kid in a robe. And I write about that in my book. It's like I mock him. I say, this is a little kid. He's sitting on the bench as a federal judge. He's 37 years old. It's not that age is the issue, but you know what? 37 and to be a federal judge, and he was from the Department of Justice, and he's now got his colleagues defending the Smithsonian from the Department of Justice. These people defer, even if it's by status quo bias. They just have an inclination to side. You know, how can this pro se self-represented artist from Elmira, New York, know anything? I mean, he doesn't even have a lawyer. It's just him.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
this is this guy. Who in the world? Who's going to pay him any attention? Well, that's my story. That it might just take 10 years. Did you ever see that movie? And this is a great recommendation to you and your audience if you have not. It's called Flash of Genius. It's about Robert Kearns. Did you ever hear of this? About the guy who invented the intermittent windshield wiper?
No, I never heard of that.
Oh, it's an amazing movie. And God used this years ago in my life to encourage me to hang in there, because another story, and I won't share the gold because you got to see it.
All right.
But this is a true story. The inventor of the intermittent windscreen wiper, how his designs were stolen by Ford. And he then tries to sue Ford, and no one would sue Ford because everyone was afraid of Ford. And they're saying, don't sue them, they're too big. And all this, always fear. It's always fear. And Robert Kearns is like, you know what? I'm going to sue them myself. And he sues them himself as a pro se litigant like myself for years. And the result was remarkable. And basically, the story for me is just hang in there. It might take you a long time, but
Well,
it's worth it.
one of the things that I admire about you from the first time we started our conversations back in July through all this, and following the things that you're doing, is one of the things that I've admired about you is that you really don't shy away from confrontation if it's tied to principle.
Amen.
And
what do we, Joe? What do we have? What do we have if we don't have that? And then this is the thing from my mind. I'm like, but this is America. This is what America. This is why America happened.
Mm-hmm.
I read the Declaration of Independence, and it's the most glorious expression of exactly that. And if we don't have that, if I don't have that, then what type of a man am I? What type of a man am I if I do not know what is true and right, and if I don't stand on it with my life, no matter what? Because if I deny those principles, Joe, then what do we have left?
you have nothing.
You
really
have
don't.
nothing. Oh, a bunch of stuff, shiny
That's
stuff, big pile of gold, or is that really, or fame or fortune and prestige, and is that really? See, I forgo all of that stuff, Joe.
I don't know if you could see that, but I keep this. It's probably because it's washed out.
Yeah. Oh, there it is, man. That's it.
I keep this. I carry this thing with me wherever I go. I've had this for years. I can't tell you how many times I've read it. And you're right. This is our founding document. This is
Core, to me, it's core American
Yeah.
DNA
this is what you call a principled stance on liberty.
on liberty, and without it, you are not free. Without it, you may wave an American flag, you may have all the trimmings, but if you're not that, then you do not have the freedoms that you think you have and proclaim, because that is the basis of freedom. When Jefferson says, after bringing the indictment against King George, and he says, now let facts be submitted to a candid world, and he then lists off the whole indictment against King, boom, 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 written. We as an American people, and this is what in today's world, and sadly in the political world on both sides, and that's why I just walked away from the whole thing. Conspiracy and distortion and lies and slander and mystery. We need to be a people of facts, like that. That declaration to me is the blueprint of political activism as an American, and it's based upon that fundamental idea that you use every lawful, legitimate process to fight for your rights. Like revolution is always in the American DNA. It's
That's
always
right.
there, but it is at the very, very end, having exhausted every single legitimate process and some, before you even consider that type of exercise of power to get your political rights. And so what I saw so much. So there's so many people are online. There's so much vile, unprincipled people who are doing and saying what they do for money, for followers, for prestige, for fame. When I read that Declaration of Independence, I'm like, I want to weep. I want to weep. This is so beautiful. It's so righteous. And it says at the end, we appeal to the God of the whole world. It's this call to the righteous judge of
Amen.
the whole earth
Amen.
as the source of our truth, as we know what is true.
And
the
you know,
basis, for action, the basis for action.
yeah, and you know why it's so easy today for the average American citizen to get caught up in the conspiracy theories. Not everything is a conspiracy theory. There's something as are conspiracy facts, but
Sure.
you get caught up in the conspiracy theories, the emotionalism, and you said it before. I'm trying to remember how you phrased it, but just generally just being able to get the wool pulled over their eyes by narratives that really don't make that much sense when you really break them down and look at them, is because things like this are no longer taught.
Right. Yeah, right, exactly.
In the education system.
It's right, because those are the tools of freedom. It's the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
The truth will set you free. It's the truth of the identity of the American DNA, which is in those documents.
Absolutely.
But if we know those and they are part of the fiber of who we are, it's the guiding framework about what we do. And the Declaration of Independence for me is just, it is exactly that. It's the blueprint for action. It's the political activist manual. Do this, follow these steps. Here it is. Boom, 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 boom. That to me is, if we will succeed as a people and as a nation and as citizens, we the people, we will succeed when we all individually and corporately take those documents, make them known to, not just, I have it. I know it. I know what it says. I understand what he was saying, why he was saying it, and what they did and the steps that they took and the long-winded, then we will see massive change. And unfortunately, it's all about principle, as you rightly said. And we must be a people who are immovable and unbendable when it comes to principle. These are eternal, non-negotiable principles that transcend our world and are anchored in eternity. And they give us the freedoms that we enjoy. That is the root of, I believe, of American DNA. And I hope that maybe through this show and broadcast that someone may be encouraged to say, yeah, I need to dig into those things. Focus on turn off all these shows, turn them all off, and open those books and those documents and those people and their words and their thoughts and their writings, and let that become your identity. And then turn on the rest, and you'll see, oh my goodness, this I don't recognize half of the stuff that's out there.
Absolutely. Julian, we got to get on to our next guest here. So where can what's next for you? Books? Any more books coming out? Any exhibitions coming up? No paint.
I haven't painted in 6 months. I'm in a legal war mode. I can't paint. My mind just won't allow me. I mean, I photograph. I do my photography, but you have to be in a certain mind frame. It's just not there. But it's good because I'm painting with words, and that's what I love to do as well. But yeah, 714 Baldwin Street is where you can find out about that. You've got Smithson Institution.com for that. You've got JulianRaven.com for my art, and books. I have my prequel to my Odious and Cerberus book that I've been working on as well for about 10 years, and that's going to come out maybe in the spring. And that's a lot of my Christian journey as well as coming to America and my experience here. So a lot going on, very busy. And yeah, if you keep in touch with those sites and Facebook, Julian Raven USA on Facebook. I don't like social media at all. I do use it
Me too.
When I have to, I'm not very good at it. I don't care. People like or not. I have no idea. I'm just like, well, there it is. So
That's exactly like I am. I tell the audience all the time. I have all these social media things. They're all for the show. I really don't spend any time on it, to be honest with you. If you follow me, great. I'll follow you back, but I don't expect much because I really don't have time to play with it.
yeah, it's not. It just I you know what I think it is? I don't know how to manipulate. I don't know how to try to coax people. Oh, look at it. I'm the type of person that's like, look, here it is. It's in black and white. You read it. Just that if the truth of what I just said is not sufficient for you, I don't know how to make it all sparkling to make you more convinced to see it, because I just don't know how to do that. I'm not. That's probably why I don't have a successful social media thing, because I've tried and I suck at it. So I do post. But what I'm doing is I'm there in the trenches and in full battle mode right now, which is very exciting. And thank you, Joe, once again for having me on.
Anytime, brother. You know, you're welcome. Anytime you want to come on the show, just let me know and we'll make it happen.
I appreciate it very much.
All righty. I'll shoot you a text later on. All right. Got a couple of things I want to throw your way, get your opinion on.
Thank you.
All right, brother. God bless you. Julian Raven, folks, thank you so much for being with us tonight, Julian. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe.
All right. Talk to you soon. All right, folks, what we're going to do here is we're going to take a little bit of a break just to freshen up the Earl Grey tonight. And when we come back from the break, we'll have Danny Mendoza joining us and find out what is new in the world of Eagle Pass PopCon and what's coming down the road. All right, folks, don't forget, this is a live show weeknights, 7 p.m. Central Time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends, your family, your followers. And, because when you do that, it helps with the algorithm, then people find us, and, we can do all that neat stuff that we're trying to do. All right. Well, with that said, don't forget also to check out the website, joerooz.com. Send us over a question, comment, care, concern, whatever it is on your mind. Drop a comment down below and stick with us. We will be back shortly, probably about maybe 4 minutes. All right. We'll be back. All righty. Hey, folks, welcome back. This is Joe Rooz. Welcome to the Joe Rooz Show. Hour number 1, safely tucked away and put to bed for the night. Hour 2 going to get started here momentarily. So Julian Raven, folks, I hope you guys got something out of that. Julian's a great guest. I thoroughly enjoyed having him on back in July, and if you haven't checked out that show, you need to. Great show, and honestly, and I was true to the heart when I said that I do tell his immigration story to a lot of people because it's really, truly an inspiring story, and you need to check it out. So you can go back to the July 2nd show that we did with Julian and check that thing out because it truly is an inspiration to listen to. What comes out of it is the love of country, the love of the country, the love of the principles and the value, the core values of what America really is. And that comes through so clearly when you hear him tell his story. It just, man, I wish Americans felt the way they did. I wish Americans felt the way Julian does about this country. So it's a great story. It's a great story. You need to check it out. So the July 2nd show, you should check it out for sure. Folks, Pro HVAC R Solutions leverages over 30 years of expertise to provide premier HVAC sales and repair services, specializing in both residential and commercial installations. Pro HVAC's team of skilled technicians is dedicated to providing efficient heating, ventilation, and air conditioning solutions for your home or business with a focus on quality workmanship and customer satisfaction. Pro HVAC Solutions ensures your comfort all year round. Contact Pro HVAC R Solutions today for reliable HVAC services tailored to your needs. Links right there on the screen, prohvacsolutions.com. Check out prohvacsolutions.com. All right. Now, with that said, I think it is about that time where we're going to bring in Danny Mendoza. Danny is the, what did he say, the founder, Danny, of Eagle Pass PopCon?
Yes, I'm actually one of them.
one of the founders.
Yeah,
and in
I'm
case
one of the
you're
founders,
wondering
but I am the current working founder.
Okay, I got you. And in case you're wondering where Danny is, Danny's in hiding right now. He's in his super secret bunker.
Yes,
So
the bat cave.
he's in the cave. He's making sure that that he keeps his location secret. That's why we only have the little image for him. No, seriously, he's having a problem with his camera. So it's all right.
My camera's basura at the moment. So
listen, I've spoken to cartoon cats, so I can talk to a little flashing circle for a little bit.
Hey, that's what we like that. We like that here.
There you go. So Danny, what's going on? What's up? What's new?
All right,
how are things on the solar business first before we get into everything else?
Oh, pretty good, man. So we actually have a program for vets that we're currently pursuing. We actually had we were part of the movement for the first food drive for vets, only for vets, and it was Eagle Pass PopCon and TNE Energy. We helped with the marketing. We actually brought over 240 people to the event, so it was a good success. Not what I would consider top tier success, but it was still pretty decent. So never before done here, first time ever. They were actually forecasting 20 to 50 vets, so I think we did well in our marketing. Since we didn't have a lot of support, I think we did pretty good. All
right. And when was that event?
It was last week. It was on it was the third. Wait, was it? It was actually a few days ago. It was. Yeah, I know, man. It feels like it's been so long because I've been moving with this EP PopCon thing. No, it was last week. It was Thursday. It was on a Thursday.
All right.
So, but it's technically a few days ago. So hasn't been a week yet.
Feels
like a week.
What was it? Was it on Veterans Day by any chance?
No, Veterans Day I believe was the 12th. It was the day after.
Okay. Yeah. Well, no, Veterans Day is the 11th.
Oh, the 11th. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, so it was the day after, or 2 days after that. So.
All right. So let's see. So you set up this event called Eagle Pass PopCon. And I know we've talked about it in the past. You were here on the show one evening. We had a great conversation about it. But for the folks that might be tuning in for the first time, maybe never heard the other show, don't know much about Eagle Pass PopCon. Why don't you give us a quick rundown of what it actually is and what the goals of Eagle Pass PopCon is?
So Eagle Pass PopCon started off as an idea for marketing for businesses that are local here in Eagle Pass, and to get a bigger presence and audience for Eagle Pass. So bring in extra eyes and views, and saying that Eagle Pass is not just a regular place. I don't know if you can pull up my Instagram, but on there you can see the video that we did for this past PopCon.
Let me see. It would be helpful if I turn the mic back on. I'm
Yeah,
over
no,
here. I'm over here having a coughing fit. I'm sorry.
no, you're good. No, if you, it's better to show the people what they kind of missed on the first one. You don't have to show the full thing. You can kind of just show the intro. The people can go watch it on my Instagram.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's kind of what it started off as. It was supposed to be marketing.
It's going to make me log in, and it has like the 14,000 different levels of security to get into the thing.
Okay,
I'm not
that's
gonna be
fine.
able to
That's
pull it
fine. So,
right.
can I send you the link?
You can, yeah. Yeah, drop it in the chat, in the
Okay,
private chat.
maybe that'll work better anyway. So, and then the people can click on the link too. So we'll only showcase like a few, the kind of the intro, and then let me drop that right here. But yeah, it started off with that, and then it transformed into something completely different. It actually transformed into kind of bringing hope back to the community. It moves people. It makes them believe that Eagle Pass can be better, and it makes people have hope again. And so, I mean, obviously, it also makes us decent amount of capital, but I think the bigger payoff was that one that was unforeseen and unplanned on.
This is the one you're talking about?
Yeah, that one. If you take a look at that.
Ladies and gentlemen, anybody who's just now joining us, welcome to the 2025 Eagle Pass PopCon. Thank you so much for dropping by. We want to give all of you guys the announcement of our special guests. We have Efren Ramirez. You know him as Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite. We also have Johnny Wong, Eagle Pass Pop Culture Con 2. Enjoy!
What's your favorite scary movie?
And we can put pause. They can watch the rest. Yeah, that's the intro for the thing. But yeah, that's what we brought to Eagle Pass the second year. The first year we actually brought Peter Dante. There's also a link that I can send you for that one. But I don't know if you saw that part, but literally you get to feel the emotion, you get to feel the difference, and you can't believe that that's actually here in Eagle Pass. It was at the ITC. So a lot of people missed the first one. A pretty good number of people still missed the second one. So we're doing the third one, and this might be the final one that we do on bringing in the Ninja Turtles. So if they missed them the first 2 times, this is going to be the last time for them. And it what's it called? We're doing a very special tribute this year. The theme's actually and it's kind of fitting to what we're trying to do. So I'm not going to say what it is. But I think I mentioned a little bit on the previous one. So if everybody saw the previous one, they kind of have a gist or idea what it is. But we're going to make a miniature event now. That's actually the secret announcement that I had to say today. Setting it all up is we're going to make a mini EP PopCon. So it's going to be a little small one, kind of like a preview to the bigger one. So that way if people want to see what it's all about, they go to this one. And it's actually going to be located in the Eagle Pass Mall.
All right.
Yeah, so we're going to be hosting it, if everything goes well, January 31st from 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. Yeah, it'll be at the Eagle Pass Mall. And we're going to have it, it's free to the public, like we always do. Mm-hmm. We're gonna be bringing in new stuff, but it's supposed to set up a preview for the Eagle Pass PopCon 3, because this Eagle Pass PopCon 3 is setting up to be a really, really big thing.
Now when is PopCon 3 going to be?
Oh, I'm gonna say the date at the mini EP PopCon.
Yeah, I was trying to trick you into dropping it here. You know.
Yeah, I know. I
we can
mentioned it
break.
to a few people. Yeah, I mentioned it to a few people, but no, we're gonna hold that. Like I said, at the preview there, we're gonna showcase kind of what the main theme or main attraction is gonna be at the Eagle Pass PopCon 3.
Okay.
But on this one, like I said, we're doing a miniature one, so people get the feel of it and they kind of understand what we're gonna be doing.
Outstanding.
Because I think people don't know how big these things can get. And this little mini EP popcorn, we actually have a hell of a lineup for it too. And this is actually small compared to what we do on these on the bigger one. So for those that missed the first and second one, they get to go to this one, and obviously our fans are going to go to this one too. But our lineup consists of some pro cosplayers that we're bringing in. So we're going to have some legitimate pro cosplayers.
Nice.
Yeah, we're going to bring back Curve 4 Bunny that was in the first one. And we actually have video on that one that you showcased about him. Then we're going to bring in a K-pop cosplayer because they're very hot right now. And so they legitimately dress like
K-pop. I really don't.
well, I mean, the kids do. And like I said, this event is meant
Like,
for
why?
stuff like that.
Like,
well, I don't get it either, but the kids love it. So we're
I could trash this stuff because my demo is not kids. My demo is older. So you know, I can get up here and say, what the hell is wrong with you people? K-pop.
Well, we got something for them too, but we got to appease, everybody here. So yeah, so we got K-pop. We're also bringing Hello Kitty, a Hello Kitty cosplayer, professional cosplayer. Yeah. So yeah, there you go.
People who do like the Hello Kitty cosplay, would they be considered like what do they call them, furries?
No, that's not the same thing. That's like, but I like how you're thinking, but no, that's not it. And then we're actually gonna have an actual Hello Kitty like a suit, so like one that actually looks like Hello Kitty. So
Are
we're
you
gonna
gonna
have
dress up like
that
Hello
too.
Kitty?
Oh no, sir, I don't do the dressing up. I've never done it,
No.
and I actually don't plan on ever doing it.
No face painting either.
No, none of that. No. If I go dressed up as anything, it's myself and as Bruce Wayne. That's about it. So no, not even the bat suit, bro. It's just me in a suit. That's as good as it's gonna get.
I love that you call yourself Bruce Wayne.
Well, I mean, that is the mask, is what they say. So the hero's behind the curtains. So
I totally get you.
And then we're also bringing Peter Piper's Rocky. Peter Piper's going to be there too already. So Rocky, the little purple dinosaur that we actually showcased at the actual event, they're going to be there. So yeah, and then we're also going to be bringing one wrestler appearance. We're going to have one there. He's going to be giving autographs. Yeah. So
do you want to share that, or is that a big secret?
No, that's also a secret. You got to go to the event.
And why are you on the show tonight? I missed anything.
Yeah, well, no, because we're bringing out the word out there because we got big promotions going on. So that we're gonna have, like I said, a wrestler appearance that's gonna be doing autographs. It's from a local wrestling group that we got here. So he has amateurs and pro wrestlers. So we're gonna be bringing one in. And we're going to showcase it on the flyer. We're going to showcase it on our social media as time goes on. So they better, be on the lookout for that. So yeah, we have a pretty good lineup, and like it's plus we're going to have our vendors there, so our top vendors. And so that's because like I said, most people don't know what a Comic-Con is. Ours is a PopCon, by the way. PopCon is for pop culture. This is why we're able to bring in all this stuff. We're also bringing, this is for the adults, Star Wars cosplayers. So, and we're actually giving a VA tribute. By the way, VA, I noticed that since we gave the tribute to the VA, there are a lot of Star Wars, I guess you could say, fanatics. So we're bringing that to the table. And we're actually going to have preliminaries for cosplay and tournaments. We're going to have 3. It's going to be one for kids, ages from little to 12. Then we're gonna have like a young adolescent, teenager cosplay, which is gonna be from 13 to 17, and then we're gonna have the adults, which is gonna be 18 and above. And so you're gonna be able to showcase. This is preliminaries for the actual EP PopCon event. So if you pass these, we might have really big prizes for those that pass the preliminary part of it. You'll still get a prize when you get here. So we'll have first, second, and third. But at the event, you're going to be, already, showcased in there. You don't have to go through the pre-qualifications to get there. You automatically make it to the cosplaying tournament finalists. So, and the ones that are going to be.
Well, it looks like we lost Danny. Alrighty. So we'll wait for Danny to reconnect. Not sure what happened there. I didn't do anything. I promise you, it was not me. So, here's back. Let's bring him back in. I didn't do anything.
It
That
kicked
wasn't
me
me.
out. It kicked me out. No, so like I was saying, yeah, so we're gonna have those cosplaying tournaments, and they're gonna be judged by our professional cosplayers. So the pro cosplayers that we're bringing in, they're gonna be doing the judging, and they'll do the criteria. And so we'll have all that available, as time goes on. They're going to be noticing it from it. And so we're actually going to be marketing to Mexico. So,
Okay.
Las Negras, all that area, and here in Eagle Pass, all the way to Del Rio Uvalde. So it should be a pretty big event for it being a mini one. And it should get packed. And we want that. So, so we're also going to have our top vendors there. Our sponsorships are actually now open for the EP PopCon 3. And those that join already actually get benefits. We always are in a first come, first serve, but the rates are going to be established depending on what we had discussed prior to these some of these vendors. So just giving you a heads up on this, the rates are different for almost every vendor. Like there's tiers for every vendor, but we also have our grandfathered rates. I know you don't know this, but those that are hearing out on this, some of these vendors from last year had asked why do they get different, quote, special rates, our grandfathered rates. And those were the ones that helped us build the very first one. So when nobody else wanted to join in, when everybody said that it was going to fail, when nobody wanted to take the risk, these vendors took the risk. So those that are grandfathered in literally keep the first pricing that we did that initial time, which was crazy pricing, man. Like they won big time. It is super low. So they get dibs on, obviously, it's the first come, first serve. And so those rates are still locked in for them since they've been showing their support for us since the very beginning. And I'm going to mention some of these already right off the bat so people know who they are.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so these ones are, and I'm going to thank each and every one of these because these were the top ones that helped me build it from the ground up. And some of these were actually founders. So we got Choche's Barbecue, obviously. Could never done it without Choche if it wasn't for him, saying, hey, back this crazy guy up with this idea. City of Eagle Pass, because they helped us with the venue, even though they had a big bomb happen that same year, and they were wary about letting anybody else, get on board. So give a big old shout out to IDEF for trusting me on that first year, which we crushed it, by the way. TNL Nutrition, Sabino Vielma, never forget him. Sabino Vielma III, he helped me run the first one from the inside. Could have never been able to do it without him. And then Real Beta, Clay Fisher. Have to give all the video, all the content. He was the first one to, step up in line and do everything. And then you met the guy already that was the first MC for, our event, which was now Eagle Pass. Ruben Camarillo. So give him a big old shout out to him too, because if it wasn't for him with that voice at that event, it wouldn't have matched. So great stuff. Yeah, these guys were kind of like the solid foundation. They were like, I don't want to say founders because not all of them were. Really, the founders were really Choices and TNL Nutrition. And, the City of Eagle Pass helped with the venue there initially, to allow us to use it.
Right.
But, if it wasn't for them and the push they gave me, I would have never dropped the capital needed or, I don't think I would have been able to do it all by myself either. So I have to give them all a big shout out. But then we also had other grandfathered vendors that helped out and said, you know what, we're going to give this crazy man a shot, see what this is all about. And believe it or not, Peter Piper Pizza was one of them. So that's why they stuck around. They saw the marketing initially. Bigger companies kind of understand that marketing is the way to go, and they see what good PR is. And I know you know this, Joe Rooz. Any one of these bigger companies, if they get eyes, the money flows there. And
That's
if it gets
right,
great, and if it gets great PR, it has to be eyes and great PR, and then obviously returns on investment, which that's the last part that goes in it. But that's what marketing's for. is to be for eyes and positive PR. Blue Bonnet Bakery, Jackie became a big, solid believer with us, and she's helped us out. And I've been wanting her to succeed in her business because she's a big believer in it. Treats by Dawn, it was their first year that they came out there, new bakery place in town, and they decided to join us. Mask, which they do face paintings. They were there too on the first one. They loved it.
I think you should do the face painting.
Yeah, well, it made sense too. They made a killing on the first one. They made a killing on the second one too. Because
I mean, you should get face painted.
Oh no, I'm good. I don't do. I just told you that. And then Cat's Freeze dried candy. They also on the first one they actually upgraded their sponsorship on the second one. Alkalive, the water place. They were there helping out on the first one, and they became our exclusive water for the second one. They literally gave out free water to all the people that went there. All of them. So not only our volunteers, but all the people that walked in there, they could get
Wow.
yeah. So they're going to be there for this next one already. So big out shout out to them. And I personally use them. I love that water. That water is, I think, the best one in Eagle Pass. The Pop Shop EP, they were there in the beginning. They were there again the second time frame. Figures and Anime Shop. Like I said, they were the same thing. Snack Time was there the first time. They were there the second time. They were awesome. And SC Collectibles. So I'm giving a big shout out to them. And they get dibs. And I'm letting them know right now, if they put a 50% deposit, they get to go to this new event at no extra cost. So
Hey, Danny, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but somebody that you gave a shout out to is going to join us right now.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, then
There you
I'm
go.
down. I'm down.
Oh, what's up, Dan the man?
I'm supposed to come out on your podcast this coming week.
When? I didn't know. I didn't get an invite on that.
Yeah. You're supposed to showcase it.
Wow, big. Thanks for having me on, man. I was putting on that chat. You know what? I really want to invade this show. I don't know.
You know,
He told me. Ruben told me on the outside too, by the way.
No, I didn't. No, he didn't. He didn't know. He didn't know.
Well, look, I you know, when you said that, I was thinking that, you know, with Rumble, that they have a feature on there called a raid, where you could set it on your end and my end, and then we could just cross into each other's shows at certain points.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
I've seen it. I see them do it a lot, like on like some of the main content providers, and they do. Looks like it's a lot of fun, but I don't know. We got to play with it one day. We'll figure it out. Well, joining us here right now is Ruben Camarillo. I remember Ruben. He joined us here in the studio not too long ago, and we had a great. Was it 3 hours? We did 3 hours, right?
Yeah, it was 3 hours. It was great.
We had a 3-hour show, and that was fantastic. We had a great time, and we are going to be doing some stuff together down the road at one point, and we're working on that stuff. But this is Danny's spot here, so we don't want to step all over Danny. So
Well,
You're
no.
right.
I actually wanted to ask Ruben. I was like, you heard me give you the shout out, right?
I did. I've been watching the whole time. It's great,
Okay,
man.
yeah.
I'm having fun listening. So don't let me steal the spotlight. I just
Well, no. Most people don't know the effort that you give, man. And I want to say it right now. Political things aside, I feel like you're American first, just like Joe. I was like, and I feel like all these things that we do for the community, you know, we take our time and effort to do it. And like I said, you were a Black Heart sponsor since the beginning. You helped, you know, with the event. You've been there every time I've asked you to be there. You step up when you can. So yeah, when I said that you're, you know, one of the things that held this whole thing together, I really meant it, man. And I actually wanted you to tell people what you thought of the first one and the second one, so people know firsthand from you.
Oh, you want me to do that right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a little bit of time before I go with the rest of the vendors.
I mean, the first one was great. I mean, it was very it was a very magical experience, especially for the kiddos. I know, Joe, you said that your demo's not children, but like, I mean, this was something that, you know, not a lot of kids or not everybody's into sports. I think we had this conversation on your show last time, Joe, when, you know, there's such a big demographic of kids that love comics and that are huge nerds like me. And it was very thrilling, you know, for the first one. You know, we had the Ninja Turtles, we had Johnny Wong come in, we had Peter Dante, you had grown ass adults fainting or like about to faint because they see a celebrity. You know, it was pretty amazing. Second one was pretty good too. We had a lot of fun with that. I will just give a little experience. I was not supposed to be the MC for that. I was just actually practicing on the mic, just like my announcing skills and everything. And I was like, you know, why not? And I was just like, welcome to Eagle Pass PopCon. And then I see Danny, like his little eyes glow through his glasses. And I'm just like, oh, what did I do? he's like, you're the guy. I want you there. I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, we had a DJ and I just literally fired his ass.
I didn't even know that. I had no idea, man. I was just like, I thought I was just, you know, having fun. And I did. I had so much fun. And but man, being an MC was tiring. Good Lord. I mean, my voice was gone. I was up there wearing a coat and sweating my ass off. And I was just like, why is it so hot in here, man? I need to take this coat off. And it was great. No, great experience on both ends. The second one was great too. We had pizza, we had cosplay, no furries or K-pop. Like, you know, by the way, Danny, I was secretly along here with Joe, like K-pop.
Yeah, it's a trend and it's pretty big, and the cosplayers are really into it. So
really,
I gotta pull it out of the bag. I've seen a lot of, you know, since I've been a little bit more involved with the Eagle Pass Independent School District, because you know we're trying to change the food for the kids. You know, make it American again.
Okay.
You mean raising the level of dog food?
Yeah, no more dog food for them. You know, actual legitimate food. Yeah, because we're still doing that push. Yeah, I got to meet a little bit more of the kids, and I've been kind of around them a little bit more, hearing what they speak. And K-pop is just a big thing right now with them. So we're gonna bring one there, so that way they can go see how a pro cosplayer does it, and it's like bringing their character to life, man. So you know that should be another mind-blowing experience for the kids, which is the idea. You know, you want them excited, you want them, you know, looking forward towards life, and you know they all have different venues, man. Not everyone's like the same fit, so you know I think that's going to be awesome. But yeah, that's actually why we're bringing the K-pop. By the way, that's part of I have an event coordinator now, so we were planning on that. Yeah, so we were planning on that. Big ol' shout out to Paco Ramirez. He's our event coordinator now for the Eagle Pass PopCon, and yeah,
Isn't he the librarian?
He's the librarian guy. Yep, he's the one that actually hosted the downtown Halloween one.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
That was his idea, by the way. He's been wanting to do that for years. So
finally got to it. That's great.
Yeah. So, but going back to the sponsored part, yes, our grandfathered ones automatically get their rates locked in. 50% down is the same thing for the grandfathered rates, and they get first dibs because you know I can only host so many in there. Because remember, this is gonna be at the mall now. So usually where we have the Santa Claus, this is a mini one. This is by the way, I don't know if you were here, but this is a mini one. So it's supposed to be a small version of what we're going to be doing at the EB PopCon. And it's to set the precedence for that. But for last year's sponsors, our top sponsors, they get second dibs. So all platinum, black card, gold card, they'll get dibs from last year. And right now, what I'm doing is a special secret announcement. Those who are hearing this from the Joe Rooz Show can get to say it.
The Joe who show?
The Joe Rooz Show.
There you go.
And that's what I thought.
Did I pronounce it wrong? I think I pronounced it wrong.
You did. You said Joe Rose. I am not Joe Rose.
Or that time, I think it was that time when we were all watching it. Was it Omnipotent?
Yeah, I said that, yeah.
Sorry, man. I had to give you crap for that one, man.
No, you're good. You're good. I was like, so yeah, I'm gonna be given one tier from as long as they lock in ASAP, starting as of today until you know each one of them gets sold. I'm gonna give one tier an 80% discount. Ooh. So yeah, so not the grandfather rates because the grandfather rates are already really. They're actually cheaper than that. So I was like, but it's going to be for the last year sponsors. They're going to get for Hessless. This goes to you. You get to upgrade now for almost the same price that you had before. So that goes to Fred and Rick. You guys better jump on this. But last year's top sponsors, You guys get first dibs on a black card, diamond, plat, gold, silver, or bronze, whatever ones you guys want, but it'll be at an 80% discount. It's only for one of each. And it's to set it going already, the momentum. This will be for EP PopCon 3, but any sponsor or any vendor that already commits beforehand will get a booth at the mall event at no cost. So the idea is to showcase to the kids, hey, this is kind of a little small taste. So you can't bring your whole thing because there's not a lot of space there. It's only going to be like a one table, two chairs sort of thing. But it'll be at the mall, and it'll be with these professional cosplayers. And like I said, we'll have an actual wrestler there, appearance made there, and then we'll have Rocky, and we'll have the Star Wars cosplayers too. So it should be really intense right off the bat. It'll be something very unique and very different. Besides that, we're going to have the cosplayer preliminaries there. So like I said, it's going to be for kids, for teenagers, and adults. So all three are going to be there. But yeah, so the black card sponsors usually are running for $10K. For the first one that calls in and says, hey, I want to be a black card sponsor, they'll get all the benefits that comes with it. It's for $2K. And we're willing to reserve it for 50% down. So yeah, I know that goes with each and every. Now, by the way, now you know EP, you're already locked in, bro. Your grandfathered in, so you don't have to worry about it. You're 100% in. So diamond.
I like the clap.
Yeah, at a diamond. Hey!
I'm honored. I am honored.
I like it. So diamonds, it's 7,500, but for right now, for the first one, 80% off, 1,500, 750 to lock it in. Platinums usually go for 5,000, which we had a few last year. We also had a few black card. So plat are 5,000, but right now they're going for 1,000. You lock it in for 500. Gold is going for 2.5 thousand. So you can lock it in right now. For the first one, it's $500, which is kind of crazy. I was like, and you can lock it in for 250. Silver, same thing. It's 2,000 per booth. But right now, 80% off, so $400. You can lock it in for 200, and then bronze is just 1,000. But right now, 80% off for the first one. It's $200. I'm not gonna half that one because if you don't have $200, then yeah, like that's the only one that doesn't get half. But literally, what you're looking at right now is for the first one, black card is 2,000, 1K down. Diamond 1,500. 750K down, or 50K, my bad. $750, yeah, no, $750 down. Platinum 1K, but it's 500 down. Gold is going right now for the first one 500, but 250 down, and then silver and bronze are literally 200 down, but the silver is 400 in total. So any one of those that get locked in automatically goes into the Eagle Pass Pop or the mini PopCon, no additional charge. Ruben, you're gonna be there, no additional charge. Technically, Choices, same thing. TNL Nutrition, if they want to show up there. Real Beta is going to be there, and obviously the City of Eagle Pass is going to be there because you guys are technically the main core group that helped me start off the whole thing. So, like I said, if it wasn't for you guys, there's no way this thing would have became what it became. So I want to thank you guys for that. Yeah, and then like I said, for our grandfather vendors, they know their pricing. Each pricing is different for every one of them. But 50% deposit, they get to go to that event. And then, so if you want to test this out, let's say you don't want to get a sponsorship tier for the EP PopCon 3, but say, hey, I want to see what this is all about. By the way, just giving you a heads up, 7 Brews will be there.
Already?
Already, baby. Yeah, no, I already got to talk to the main guy, and believe it or not, they're giving us a lot of insight already. They're actually going to be part of, I'm making the announcement right now, they're going to donate to the vets. I already got them donating for you, Ruben. They didn't even know there was a VFW. I had to tell them about it. So they're going to be donating next week on a Wednesday. Just giving you a heads up. So you might want to be there, Ruben.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got them to donate. No, I got you. I told you I was gonna help you guys as much as I can. The vets need a bunch of help, and I don't want to say it's easy for me, but it's simple to go out and ask for help. So yeah, and then what he told me to mention, by the way, his name is Jacob. I already became good friends with him. What he told me to mention is that this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is for you, Joe, too. You can go to this. They are hosting free drinks for friends and family.
Alcoholic drinks?
Now,
No, there's
what?
7 brew. The 7 brews.
Okay. All right. I just want.
I'll
You think I'm an alcoholic?
No. I'll send it to you.
Like, what are
So,
you trying to say, brother?
I'm gonna send you the link. So they're actually gonna be
It was for me. It was more for me.
They're choosing their package as we speak to see what tier they're gonna be joining us for the event. So yeah, just giving you a heads up. Yeah, 7 Brews is actually gonna be part of the Eagle Pass PopCon 3, and they're already gonna be at the mall at the mini EP PopCon. So, but they are giving away. It's for friends and family. It's going to be Friday, November 21st, from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. and from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then Saturday, November 22nd, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. And then Sunday, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So, friends and family, free small drinks. Come by for 7 Brews.
Nice.
Yeah, and so yeah, I know. It's actually kind of crazy that, you know, the EP PopCon is able to bring in the community like that. And like I said, we bring in the love towards everyone, including our vets. So big shout out to Chavez for, you know, allowing me to help the vets out. And then, big old Mikey. But yeah, if you want to test us out, any new vendors, they want to test us out before they make the big jump to the EP PopCon, you know, tiers. It's $100 per booth at the mall. So, but right now, once again, since we're starting early and we're wanting to kind of pack it up and fill it up before we even, you know, bring out the flyers and stuff like that for it, it's 50% off. So it's only $50. $50 per booth. Yeah, and it's a 1 table, 2 chairs. So it's going to be from now 17th to December 21st, and it's going to be only for the first 10. So the first 10 to lock this in. I mean, because I don't know how much space they actually have there, but I have a feeling I'm already packed it with vendors. So even though we're saying it's a little mini one, it's going to look nice. If you look at the lineup plus the vendors plus the marketing that we're going to have on there, I mean, it's going to be kind of insane. So I don't even think the mall has had a big event like this that we're bringing in. So it's going to be something to behold and kind of bring. What I wanted to do is bring life back to the mall too. So I got to give a big old shout out to Pat Salcedo for, you know, partnering up with us with EP PopCon 3. But that is what EP PopCon was meant to do. It's market all the businesses that we have here in Eagle Pass, and those that understand marketing and that are fit to do the marketing can lead the way, and then we can help out as many other businesses that, you know, decide to join in the fray.
All right.
So so it's a big old event. They can PM me. Ruben, you're part of the deal. They can PM you. Joe, technically you're part of the deal. I actually want you there too. So, you know, want to showcase you there.
You know, it's on the afterthought, right?
Yeah, well, so no.
That's all right.
we had talked about this last time.
I know. I'm just twisting you a little bit. Calm down.
Okay, well, I know you and Ruben love to do that too. So
Do you know why?
That's what I'm saying, Danny. What have you done by putting us together, man? You have created a monster.
I know. This is what I do. I create monsters.
But do you know why? Do you know why we like to do
America? It's to defend America.
No, because it's so easy.
Oh, so rude.
You're very easy to twist. So it's.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I can take the pain. I'm one of
Is that why you're not on camera right now? Is it you just trying to hide your facial features? What's going on here?
Yeah.
No, he's in hiding. He's hiding in his bunker. The bat cave.
The bat cave.
Yeah, the bat cave.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah. Well, my next moves. By the way, just giving you a heads up.
He's gonna come to PopCon like a furry Batman.
No, sir. Never. No, but by the way, just giving you a heads up. Ruben is Soups. He's Soups. I call him Soups. So we're building the Legion. We're gonna have to come up with one for you, Joe.
I'm wearing a Flash T-shirt today.
Yeah, and the you can't see me hat too. So
hey,
which is perfect because I'm actually bringing a wrestler. Just giving you a heads up. So
did you say who?
No, not yet. No.
Oh, it's
It'll
a
come out with
surprise.
flyers. Yeah. It's a
Okay.
surprise. Yeah.
So he comes on the show to make these announcements about EP PopCon 3, and he won't tell us anything. He's hiding
Really?
it.
You jumped on the show to not say anything? Is it you just teasing?
I jumped on the show to kind of say what we're doing, and that the mini PopCon is the big one that I'm coming up with now, and it's the new one. So, like I said, that's going to be to showcase the stuff. But at the event that's where we're going to reveal all these things. So, especially Ruben, you kind of know what we have already set for the theme for this next one. So you can't say nothing.
I think I forgot.
Okay, good.
You said when you lost me at furries and popcorn and stuff like that. So I'm just like,
actually, talking about losing you there, we're actually bringing up our EP PopCon merch back. So it'll be available at this mini event. It'll be
we didn't have merch shirts for number 2, did we?
No, we had it for the first one. We only had shirts, but we're actually bringing that back this time. We're going to bring in a hat, a shirt, a mug, believe it or not.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Stickers.
There you go, Joe. Something for your coffee your repertoire.
Yeah, and a tote bag.
That's my list up there.
So we're gonna have actual merch. Yeah, we're gonna have what's called an actual merch line for our fans. So it'll be with our logo, and obviously every year it'll be a little bit different because it depends on whatever we end up doing that year. So, but it'll be a staple line that we're going to be bringing out, and we're going to be bringing out the what's it called, the sample line here shortly. See how people react to it and if they love it, and then hopefully it makes it to the final cut, which would be at the actual event. So those that get it early might be showcasing it early before it ever even pops up. So these are all things that we missed out on the first one, but we actually are poised to make it really big this third time around, and that is why we're doing the mini PopCon. It's to not only help our vendors create more capital on multiple showings, but it's to be the staple of Eagle Pass to showcase this is who we are. This is Eagle Pass PopCon. Because I know, Ruben, that there's been, I don't want to say copycats, but there's been people that have been trying to showcase what we do, and they just don't do it right. And so we want to show the people this is how you do it. And this is ours. This is like the Eagle Pass PopCon. This is for the people. And like I said, it's free to them. So that's the big kicker. We want to keep it like that as much as we can, and as far as possible. But yeah, so the mini one's going to be at the mall. Like I said, big ol' shout out to Pat Salcedo for letting us do it. It is right now set to the 31st from 11 to 6. The reason I say it's set is because literally tomorrow we're going to go see what the venue has to offer and all the little details that go into it. So, but it's already been talked about. We already have it kind of set, and it looks like that might be what we're going to be going with, depending, like I said, on the location. There's a specific location we want in there. If we can use it, we're going to use it. So. But yeah, no. Any other questions you guys got for me or anything like that for this one?
Just when was the date of the PopCon again?
I see what you're trying to do.
Damn it! He was about to.
It's gonna be said at the mini PopCon. The mini PopCon right now.
I tried.
Yeah.
Good try, Joe.
By the
Good
way,
try.
there is going to be a lot of marketing for this one. So those sponsors that jump in early are going to have full, almost year-round sponsoring, marketing. So those that jump in now are literally going to get marketed from now all the way till the date that the Eagle Pass PopCon 3 is going to be showcased. So jump in early, jump in at the discounted rate. Let's get this ball moving. I already got a few of them, like I said, that already said yes. So we're gonna start popping these out here shortly. But yeah. It's going to be, I have a very strong feeling that this little mini one's going to be actually pretty big. I don't know if you heard, but they hosted the mall the mall Halloween one. Did you guys hear that one?
No.
What about you, Ruben? Did you hear about that one?
You mean that's coming in the future? Like, you mean that happened last year? Like, not this year, but like the year before that?
No, it happened this year at the mall. They did a
costume competition?
Yeah, for Halloween.
No, I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, no, it actually got packed. So
I had no idea.
Yeah, I know. I had an idea because Pat told me, but it was too last second, so I couldn't even go to it either. But it showcased that a lot of people, want to cosplay. They do want to do that. And Eagle Pass, I think, has a pretty big following on that. And then, like I said, we're actually marketing to Mexico now too, because believe it or not, Piedras does come down over here, and they do buy a lot of our stuff, and they do support us, and they do love these type of events. So we're getting marketing. We actually partnered with a marketing firm that markets to Mexico and the surrounding cities here, not only here in Eagle Pass. So, and they actually work with the city, and they work with Maverick County. So we're gonna have great marketing for any one of our sponsors that decides to join in, and we're gonna be doing these videos early for them too. So, yep. So y'all get ready, because I feel like this is gonna be the new staple for Eagle Pass, hopefully for years to come. So we keep making it better. We keep, sprucing it up, and I don't know where the top's gonna be, but it looks like right now it's pretty high ceiling. I can't even reach it yet, to be honest. I'm trying.
There's not much you can reach, buddy.
Well, see, that's what they said about the first one, and then I noticed on the second one, and bro, there's actually, oh well, no, I got it, but I had to keep it.
Like most
had
things,
to
go
keep
right
it.
over that.
Yeah, well, no. I got it, but to our viewers that didn't get it, I had to keep it in context. Okay.
Okay,
So, but-
sure.
Good save, Danny.
Oh my god. Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
All right, listen, I got 3 minutes left of the show, so I gotta start wrapping up here. So, is there anything else, Danny, you want to pass on to us? How can we find out more information about this? Do you have any websites or anything like that set up yet?
Yeah. So they can go follow me on Instagram, Facebook. We have an EP PopCon on Facebook. We have an EP PopCon on Instagram. You can just follow my personal one on Facebook or Instagram. And then, like I said, you guys can be the outlet too. So if they text you with information or anything like that, as long as you guys promote or anything like that, you guys can actually send it my way. So.
All right, is that on my end or your end? That's Danny. Okay.
Danny, you have a dog?
Well, the mic muted and then no more sound. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, that had to be.
All right. So I'm guessing that that Danny made his last pitch there. So I'm going to start closing out the show here. You're welcome to stick around while I do it. That's fine. If not, you can.
Of course, I'm honored. Thank you so much for letting me invade. I appreciate that.
Anytime, man. Anytime you want to come on, you just let me know. You know that.
Oh yeah.
All right. Folks, don't forget. So Danny Mendoza, thank you so much for being here. Ruben, again, thank you. Really appreciate you jumping on here. A lot of fun tonight. I think it was a pretty good show. Julian Raven, fantastic guest. He's somebody that you should check out too. But
he was great. I saw that. It was awesome. I loved listening to it.
The profile. He's fantastic, man. He's really a good talk. So we want to say thank you, of course, to Julian. Make sure we all check out his book, check out his website, check out everything that he's been working on. He's been doing great work. And again, like I said, when I came back from the break, one of the great things about him, which is, to me, it's inspiring in a lot of ways, is the fact that here he is. He's somebody who was not born in this country. He came the right way, the proper way of doing it. He went through citizenship, got his citizenship, and loves this country so much so that the first thing he did when he got here, he started suing the government. So I mean, that's which is great. And I know I say it tongue in cheek, but that means a lot. It really does. That he loved the country so much that he sees something wrong going on, and he wants to get involved with it right away. So we really appreciate him. And like I said, Danny, great. Ruben, thank you again. Now, folks, don't forget. Head over to the website, joeroos.com, and sign up for the programming announcement email list. All right, it's not a list. I'm not selling you an $80 cup. Okay, just this is programming information, just about the shows coming up, any changes to the schedule, any adjustments we have to make, any cancellations, which we hope we don't do any cancellations, reschedules, whatever it might be. Head over to the website, sign up for the programming announcement email list. All right, that's number one. Number two, it's free, which means it doesn't cost you anything. And we're not going to sell your information, share your information, give it away, or anything like that. It all stays with us, and it's the best way for us to keep in touch with everybody because, like I said earlier, I suck at social media. So the email list is the best way to do it. So get yourself on the list and stay in the know. And folks, listen, if you are listening to this or you're watching this and you're a podcaster, or maybe you want to be a guest on a podcast, head over to Podmatch, podmatch.com. Use my link, Podmatch. Join Podmatch. Where is it? I have a banner for it somewhere. There we go. Join podmatch.com/JoeRoos and use my link, referral link, sign up for it. Get yourself on there. And maybe, you never know, if your profiles match, we might hook up. and we can do a show together, or hook up with Ruben. Ruben's new to Podmatch as well, and he's looking for folks to fill his schedule. So make sure you get over there and check it out. All right. Also, if you want to follow us on the socials, on Twix, at Joe Rooz, Twitter, X, Twix, Joe Rooz, Truth Social, Joe Rooz Minds. Don't forget minds.com on Friday, the 21st. We will be hosting Bill Ottman, who's the CEO and co-founder of the Minds social media platform. So he'll be on the show. Looking forward to talking to him. I have a couple of cheeky questions to ask that have been sent to me by people who are Minds users that want me to ask. So I hope he's ready for that. If you want to follow us on Facebook, it's Joe Rooz Show. Instagram is not Joe Rooz. TikTok, Joe.Rooz, Getter, Joe Rooz. Don't forget to follow us there. And then, of course, as always, shout outs to our executive producers, Wayne Rankin, Rosanna Rankin, Carolina Jimenez, Marissa Lee, and the inestimable Anonymous Angela. Thank you guys so much for all the work that you do, for your contribution through your time, your talent, your treasure. Couldn't do this stuff without you. So thank you so much for it. And especially to Angela. I got to give her a shout out because, Danny and Julian, they jumped on last minute, like ultimately last minute. So, and she was able to put all this stuff together for us. And I really do appreciate that. And, she put a lot of work into it today. And I'm incredibly grateful for her and what she does. Let's see. Now, if you want to help us out, you want to be a part of the team here, you can send us a one-time donation of any amount, recurring donation in any amount. If you want to be part of the producing team, you can sign up to be an associate producer for $17.76 a month. You can sign up to be a producer for $18.36 a month, and executive producer for $25 a month or more, depending if you're how risky you want to be. You could do that. But also, the producers get the shout out on every show, just like you just heard. Executive producers get an opportunity to come on the show with us. That's why we do our Wednesdays with Wayne, because Wayne comes on the show with us, and he hangs out for like a half an hour to an hour or so, and we get to hear about all the wonderful things that he's doing up there in the People's Republic of Washington State. So check it out. He should be back on the show, not this weekend, not this Wednesday, because he's still recovering from his surgery, so probably next week. So we're looking forward to getting him back on. If you want to contribute cryptos, you can do that too. We have our crypto wallet information. It's all up there on the website. And if you want to check out the modern podcast apps, you can do that by visiting modernpodcastapps.com or podcastindex.org. And I think that should just about do it for us. So with that said, Ruben, thank you. Appreciate it. Danny, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having us.
All right, folks, again, and thank you for taking the time to be with us tonight. Don't forget to head up to the website, joerooz.com. Let us know what you think. And folks, make Texas independent again. Go podcasting, keep a steady stride, and keep talking. God bless you, folks. Good night.
Amen.
Until we meet again, happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds if we're together?
Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather.
Happy trails to you till we meet again. Some trails are happy ones,
Others